When I was first dating my husband, every week he would send flowers. And I mean, he would send absolutely gorgeous bouquet of flowers every week. And one week my neighbor called me and said, "Did you and your boyfriend break up?" And I said, "No, why?" And she said, "Because no flowers came this week." And finally, after we've been going out for long enough, and I think it was once we got engaged, I told him he should stop sending the flowers and save the money for jewelry. Hi, I'm Barbara Kane, and welcome to Lady Kane's Kitchen. Chocolate has been around for a long time. Known as an aphrodisiac and very indulgent, it became a favorite during Valentine's Day. In the 19th century, a chocolate manufacturer, Richard Cadbury, combined chocolate and strawberries and put them in a very fancy box. After that, it became a tradition for people to buy sweets and chocolate-covered strawberries for Valentine's Day. When you're making chocolate-covered strawberries, there are several things that you want to know. When you buy, this is what I like to do. When I buy my strawberries, I take my strawberries out of the container and I place them on a tray, and then I put them in the refrigerator. I generally don't wash them until I'm getting ready to use them because I find that they keep better. When you're going to be dipping strawberries in chocolate, you want to make sure that they're completely dry and that there's no moisture. The moisture on the strawberries will affect the chocolate. It can make the chocolate runny. You just won't get the same result. The other thing that you want to do is make sure that your strawberries have no blemishes. So out of your strawberries, you want to pick out the ones that are the most beautiful and perfect. I'm working with real chocolate. The difference between chocolate and confection is the fact that real chocolate has cocoa butter in it, and it needs to be tempered versus being melted. So I have here a chocolate tempering machine, which holds about 1.5 pounds of chocolate, and we've prepared this prior to filming because it takes a long time for it to work. Normally when I make my chocolate, I have a large tempering machine at home that I use. So I start with about a 10-pound bar at least, but sometimes you're in a time crunch. So what you can do is you can melt your chocolate in the microwave, and it's best to melt it at 30-second intervals because first of all, you don't want to burn your chocolate. So you put the chocolate in for 30 seconds, take it out, stir it up a bit. Sometimes 30 seconds is enough, sometimes it's not. Then you put it in for another 30 seconds, but I would continue to watch it because as you see it start to melt, you want to make sure that you take it out and that you stir it. Then I take the melted chocolate and I bring it over to my tempering machine to be tempered. You can temper chocolate in a microwave, but it is extremely, extremely difficult from what I understand. I have never done it. And being in temper means that the chocolate starts out at one temperature, and then it rises, and then it lowers. And what happens is that crystals are formed. And that's what gives chocolate the shine and the snap to it. If chocolate is not tempered, it tends to be softer, and it does not have that snap. So that's why you need to temper chocolate. And again, that's the difference between compound or confectionery chocolate and real chocolate. Compound, you can put in a melter, you can do it the whole thing in the microwave, on the stove, or in a melter. And it's a very quick, easy alternative, but it does not have the flavor and the richness of real chocolate. I discussed the difference between confectionery chocolate and real chocolate on a previous episode, which you can see on YouTube, or you can watch reruns on this channel. What I'm going to do, and this is really trial and error on how you're going to do this, because you want to find a way to put your strawberries in your chocolate that you can get them out and not have your fingerprints all over them. So what I found for me, this is a lobster tool. I stick it in the strawberry, if it lets me. Okay. This one isn't going to work, so let's try another one. And then I take the strawberry, which has been washed and dried, and I dip it, and I turn it a little bit. Then I shake it. so that I can get the excess off. The more excess of chocolate there is, the flatter that your bottom is going to be, and it's going to spread out a little bit. And then I take my little fork and I remove it. So it takes trial and error. I think it does. Because you want to find a tool that you can easily work with and that you're comfortable with. We're going to dip a few, and then we're going to put a few different toppings on them. It's recommended, if possible, that you dip them the day that you're going to be using them or delivering them. They might last a couple of days in the refrigerator. I think it depends on how they're stored. You need to put them in an airtight container. And you also want to make sure that they're as fresh as possible when you buy them. I've also noticed that there's a variance in price with strawberries at this time. So that might affect the quality and the age of your strawberries. I don't know for sure. So what we're going to do is we'll take this one. We'll do one more. And here I have some coconut. You can do a lot of different things. I have some sprinkles. And I have some M&Ms. So first we're going to do the coconut. So you want to put the toppings on while your strawberry and chocolate are still wet. You can either dip it in so that it goes all the way around, or you can put it on the tray and then pour your coconut over it. This time we're going to put it in the red and white. And we'll do one more with M&Ms. And of course, if you want to keep in the theme, you can do red and white M&Ms. I happen to like the multicolor, but that's just a personal preference. And this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lay this here for a few minutes so that the M&Ms have a chance to set in the chocolate. And then I can also pour some over it. And then we can put these in the refrigerator to set. So another thing that you can do besides dipping them in something is that you can drizzle them. And you can drizzle them with different colored chocolates if you have it. And for that, I just put some on my spatula and I go back and forth. You wait until the chocolate's dried a little bit so that the drizzle will show up more. If you do it when the chocolate is wet, the drizzle is going to tend to blend in. And that's how it goes. I just love what I do. I do a lot of Valentine's chocolates. I do Oreos, pretzels, truffles, I do a lot of chocolate lollipops. I do a lot of chocolate hearts. It's just a wonderful time. Anything anybody wants that I make special, and everything is made fresh for my customers. My website is ladykanesweets.com, although most of my stuff is not on my website because I spend more time in my kitchen than I do updating my website. People can contact me directly. I am on Facebook. Most of my customers are what I call belly to belly because I really enjoy the interaction and the personal relationship with my customers. I ship all over the United States. I have a lot of customers in Chicago, Wisconsin, Arizona. Makes me happy. We've been married 43 and a half years, and he was very romantic. He did all kinds of wonderful things. He just was very, very thoughtful. We went into New York one time to a comedy club, and it was a place where you also had dinner. And there was a buffet. It was very small, and they had a buffet dinner, and he had a briefcase with him. And when we sat down, he took out a tablecloth, and he took out candles, and he took out some flowers, and he set all this on the table with this little buffet that we had from the comedy place. And then they had a psychic, and the psychic asked a question. I was supposed to think of something, and I thought of something, and the psychic got it wrong. But he wasn't my husband at the time, but my husband at the time got it right. So, and he told his best friend on their second date that he was going to marry me. So let's take them out and see how they came out. We've taken the strawberries out of the refrigerator. And as you can see, they came out beautifully. And there you have a very lovely, indulgent treat for yourself or for somebody you love. Thank you very much for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you on our next episode. Have a great day.